kid from Cherbourg, barely 22, dodges a freight train of defenders like they're standing still, threads a no-look pass through a needle's eye, and ignites 52,000 souls into a thunderous roar that rattles Brisbane's skyline. Reece Walsh just hijacked Suncorp Stadium, catapulting the Broncos into the NRL Grand Final. But wait. What if this electric fullback's magic is the Storm's worst nightmare, or their ultimate unravelling? Smash subscribe and hit the bell on Aussie NRL updates right now. Don't miss the chaos unfolding this Sunday. The air in Suncorp hung thick with desperation, the scoreboard mocking the Broncos at 14-0 down against the Roosters in the prelim final, fans clutching their maroon jerseys like lifelines in a storm-tossed sea. Reece Walsh, that wiry speed demon with eyes like laser-guided missiles, paced the sideline, his tattoos glistening under the floodlights, whispering to himself that this wasn't the end, it was the spark. Born in the dusty streets of Mergen, Queensland, where footy was less a game and more a religion etched into red dirt, Walsh had clawed his way from junior representatives to Warriors exile, only to explode back into Brisbane's heart like a supernova. But tonight? Tonight was different. As the second half ticked over, Walsh snatched the ball from a ruck that smelled of sweat and shattered dreams, his feet a blur, jinking left then right, leaving James Tedesco grasping at shadows. The crowd sensed it, a low rumble building, like thunder rolling in from the Glasshouse Mountains. He chipped over the top, the ball kissing the turf like a lover's promise, and suddenly Billy Slater's voice crackled over the speakers, urging the faithful to believe. Walsh didn't just run, he orchestrated chaos, drawing defenders into a web of his own design, freeing Ezra Mam for a gap that swallowed the Roosters whole. Try. The stadium exhaled, then inhaled fire, 52,000 voices merging into a primal chant, Bronco. Bronco. But just as the momentum crested, Walsh slipped on a phantom patch of grass, his ankle twisting awkwardly, referees hovering like vultures. Was this the cruel twist, the universe yanking the rug from under Brisbane's resurrection? No. Walsh popped up, grinning like a fox in a henhouse, shaking off the pain as if it were mere confetti. The comeback ignited, points tumbling like dominoes, but here's the gut punch. With 5 minutes left, tied at 24 all, Walsh fields a grubber under his own posts, eyes the clock, and what happens next will leave you breathless, because one decision could crown kings or forge villains in maroon. The Broncos faithful held their breath, the weight of a decade's drought pressing down, Walsh's heartbeat sinking with the city's pulse. He didn't pass. He exploded, weaving through 3 tacklers in a dance of defiance, offloading to Kotoni Stags who barreled over untouched. Conversion good, Broncos lead. Suncorp wasn't just rocking, it was levitating, beer cups aloft like battle standards, the ground quaking under stomping feet. Yet, in that euphoric haze, a shadow loomed. Melbourne Storm, the machine-like juggernaut, waiting in the Grand Final Coliseum. Walsh, panting on the turf, locked eyes with Adam Reynolds, the grizzled halfback who'd mentored him through hellfire. This wasn't victory's end, it was the prelude to war. As confetti rained and hugs blurred into tears, Walsh raised a fist to the heavens, whispering a vow to the ancestors who dreamed this moment from a farmlands. But deep down, the kid knew, the real test brewed in Sydney, where Ryan Papenhuizen's lightning awaited to clash with his own thunder. And just when you think the fairy tale scripted, Walsh drops a bombshell in the sheds. I've got unfinished business with the Storm, and this time, I'm not blinking. The Broncos, reborn from ashes, march on, but will Walsh's fire consume the premiership or flicker out in the decider's gale? Dawn broke over Brisbane with a hangover of glory, the city buzzing like a hive cracked open, every cafe corner dissecting Walsh's wizardry frame by frozen frame on phones smeared with last night's spills. Aussie NRL updates here, capturing the raw pulse of this maroon miracle. Stick around, because the underdog's roar is just warming up. Reece Walsh wasn't always the golden boy. Rewind to 2023, that brutal state of origin head clash leaving him crumpled like discarded wrapping, the nation holding its breath as he rose, blooded but unbowed, etching his name in folklore. Fast forward through a season of slumps and surges, injuries nipping at his heels like feral dogs, and you find him now, captaining the charge into Accor Stadium's maw. The Broncos' journey? A saga of redemption, from Reynolds' laser-guided kicks threading miracles to Carrigan's bull-like charges ploughing furrows in defences. But Walsh. He's the conductor, baton in hand, turning Suncorp's symphony into a riot. Picture the prelims fever pitch, Roosters swarming like locusts, yet Walsh ghosts through, his 40-20 bomb earlier in the year against the Storm still haunting Billy Slater's playbook. That kick, audacious arc slicing the night, pinning Melbourne deep, foreshadowing the chess match ahead. Fans packed Suncorp tighter than a scrum, Indigenous flags waving like war banners, elders nodding approval as Walsh honoured his Bidjara heritage with every evasive swerve. The comeback's anatomy? Dissected in post-match huddles, Walsh's 28-metre burst in the 55th minute cracked the Rooster's spine, his offload to Mam a sleight of hand worthy of Houdini. Surprise rippled through the stands when he waved off the trainer after that ankle scare, limping back only to ignite the next play, a decoy run sucking in defenders, freeing Reece Robson for a barnstormer. Cliffhanger etched in sweat. With 90 seconds on the clock, Roosters pounding the line, Walsh intercepts a wild pass, racing 80-metre solo, only to be hauled down inches short, heart-stopping, lungs burning, the siren mocking mercy. But the damage. Done. Broncos hold, 30-24, Suncorp a cauldron overflowing. Post-whistle, Walsh's interview drops the MIC. We are not here to participate, we are here to conquer. Echoes of Alfie's premiership ghosts, the 07 Droughtbreaker, fueling the fire. Yet, lurking in the euphoria, a revelation. Walsh confides to mates his battled demons off-field, channeling pain into propulsion. The grand final? Not just a game, it's exorcism. Storm's fortress mentality, Munster's guile, Huey's venom, all calibrated to clip Walsh's wings. Will he soar? Or will the Sydney lights expose the boy's fragility? As training kicks off under Queensland's sun, Walsh drills 40-20s till dusk, each bomb a promise etched in turf. Broncos brass whisper of tweaks, more decoys to shield their fullback from Papenhuisen's hit squad. Storytelling weaves through it all, the prodigal son's return, the mentor's faith, the fans undying him. But here's the twist that hooks you deeper. Leaked footage shows Walsh studying Storm tape obsessively, murmuring, "They think they know me, they don't." The decider dawns, tension coiling like a spring, Brisbane's heartbeat sinking with Walsh's sprint. Victory's nectar or agony's draught. One man's spark could light the trophy, or snuff it cold. Midweek madness grips the Sunshine State, billboards blazing Walsh's silhouette mid-flight, coffee cups branded with his cheeky grin, the Broncos bandwagon swelling like a king tide. Whispers in pubs turn to roars. Reece the Redeemer, the fullback who flipped fate's script. From Mergen's humble dust to Suncorp's electric embrace, his arc bends toward legend, but the grand final shadow looms, promising glory or ghosts. Dive deeper. That Prilam masterclass wasn't luck, it was alchemy. Walsh tallied 180 run meters, 2 try assists, a forced dropout that tilted the tide, stats cold as ice, yet burning with narrative fire. Reynolds, the fox at half, deferred the clutch kick to his protege in practice, a nod to succession, but Walsh demurred, eyes fierce, "Your leg, my heart." The duo's telepathy? Forged in fire drills, unbreakable as the maroon jersey. Surprise surges when you unearth Walsh's pre-game ritual, strumming guitar in the sheds, channeling Hendrix riffs into footy fury, teammates swaying like backup singers. Suncorp's eruption, amplified by his post-try war dance, honouring elders, a cultural thunderclap that silenced doubters. But Cliffhanger claws in. Storm intel leaks suggest a targeted blitz on Walsh early, Papenhuisen's speed mirroring his own, a mirror match of mayhem. Imagine the opening set. Walsh fields high ball, evades, only for a thunderous hit to echo like cannon fire. Will he rise again, or stagger into the night? Broncos camp buzzes with countermeasures, blindside runners to peel off pressure, Cobbo's aerial contests as shields. Storytelling swells. Recall Walsh's Warriors' wanderlust, the homesick exile fueling his Broncos' blaze, now culminating in premiership pursuit fans flood fan zones, Tato. Fresh with his number 1, chants echoing from river to ranges. Aussie NRL updates, your front row seat to the frenzy. Drop a comment, Storm or Broncos. Yet, the plot thickens with a bombshell. Walsh's ankle, that Prilam phantom, scans clean but twinges and sprints, trainers hovering like sentinels. He laughs it off, but eyes betray the gamble. Grand final eve, Captain Carrigan rallies troops with tales of 07 grit, Walsh nodding, fist pumping, the room electric. Off-field, he's the gentle giant, mentoring juniors in Cherbourg, signing autographs till hands cramp, a beacon for black excellence in a whitewashed league. But on field, Predator unleashed, his 2025 tally, 18 tries, 22 assists, a ledger of dominance. Storm's kryptonite? Walsh's unpredictability, that no-look flick in the Prilim's death throes setting Stags free, a moment frozen in highlights heaven. As kickoff nears, tension taut as bowstring, Brisbane dreams big, Walsh hoisting the shield, tears mixing with rain if forecasts hold. Or heartbreak, echoes of 2023's agony. The deciders duel, fullback versus fullback, fire versus ice. One faint, One fumble, and empires crumble. Walsh, staring at the mirror, mutters, "This is my mountain." Will he summit, or slip into legend's WFS? The siren calls, hearts race, the story suspends on a razor's edge. Friday's frenzy peaks. Media caravans circling Broncos HQ like wolves scenting blood. Walsh dodging mics with a sprinter's grace, his smile a shield against the spotlight's glare. Suncorp's echo lingers, a coliseum christened in his honor. Walls weeping with the ghosts of triumphs past. The grand final script? Unwritten, but Walsh's pen hovers, ink of audacity ready to bleed maroon across the page. Peel back layers, his prelim sorcery dissected by pundits, that evasive 60-meter run evoking Campisi's flair, yet rawer, hungrier. Teammates testify. Mam calls him brother-in-arms, the offload maestro sinking their chaos. Staggs dubs him lightning in boots, untouchable. But the undercurrent? Pressure's vice, Storm's dynasty hungering for back-to-back shields. Bellamy's machine-oiled for precision strikes. Walsh counters with flair, a cheeky chip in training that bamboozles defenders, laughter rippling like aftershocks. Cliffhanger coils, pre-decide oppressor, Walsh fields a curveball, memories of that Origin KO, the hit that blacked out Brisbane's hope. His